episode of the Ohio Eternal podcast. So we are getting started a little bit late tonight with just talking about buffalo chicken dip. So spoiler alert, Big Ben, the Hood's last hope, if you will, took second in this tournament, which was awesome. Maxed out at 64, I think 64 players. They had a wait list, and he went in and just dominated. If you want to see any of the replays, he actually had two matches.
Four.
I
had four feature matches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You only had two.
No, the first one I got stomped by Stifle Knot, and then I played. I think I had four. I had four.
Some in the top 8 then.
Yeah, 2 in the top 8.
Okay, yeah. So 2 during the regular day and then 2 in the top 8. And Buffalo Chicken Dip does a good job of releasing more published videos as well. So we want to talk about that event, how it went, and then kind of what's it looking like over the next few months as it pertains to Legacy, the meta, a little bit about Aether Drift. We've had some, discussions going on in our text message about some of those pieces. And if that will affect Legacy. So if you are new to the podcast or the channel, thank you for joining us. We have a couple people joining us live, so thank you for that. We like to talk about Legacy, and I know that at Buffalo Chicken Dip, we gave out a bunch of prizes and stuff. So if you joined us from, since then on the Discord and whatnot, definitely jump on here and say hello. We'd love to hear your feedback about the event, and love to just hear from you.
And if you missed out on the prizes or the free tokens, then that sucks, and you should be at the next event so we can give you some.
Come to the next one, right? So leading up to, I want to do like a before, during, and after, right, of Buffalo Chicken Dip. So Tony, kick us off. What is the Buffalo Chicken Dip? If you were having an elevator pitch to get somebody there.
So Buffalo Chicken Dip, in my opinion, is the premier Legacy event in the Ohio surrounding area. It's based out of Columbus. Rob actually started it out of his house, and then it just kind of grew from there. It is where all sorts of awesome people, a lot of really good players just across all formats usually come. It's proxy friendly. It's a great time. I know that I talked it up to TJ and Ben before they went, because I've been to several of them, like been to the opens. Huge supporter, love it. It's just a great time all around. I mean, it is, high level competition, great prizes, friendly, like never, you go to like a normal, like modern FNM or whatever, people are real sweaty, they get real upset. You're like, oh, I'm going to tap this. And then, oh, wait, no, and at Chicken Dip, guys, like, hey man, it's all good. Like, whatever. It's a good environment, high skill level play, great prizes, and obviously the dip is fantastic. So I would highly recommend, if you've never been to one, worth the experience just to go jam some Legacy, proxy friendly. Like I said, definitely a fan. So I will be at the next one.
Yeah, and I want to point out, they do have a new location, the Warp Gate does. So, you can kind of see here, if you are watching.
Very cool shop.
If you are watching the live here, super nice tables, super welcoming event. They have a cool mural like on the back. This is right before going into the top 8. Ben's super happy because he's going to kill it. But again, the store is great. The people there are great. Just all around, super welcoming, and they fit everybody in there in the store. And it didn't feel too cramped, to be honest. I mean,
and if they didn't have Warhammer going on in the back room too,
right,
it would have been even more space like that. But the back being a Warhammer room, having Warhammer tables and such, if it wasn't, I mean, you could easily double. This could have been a easy 128 players.
Yeah. And so if you haven't checked out the Warp Gate in their new location down in Columbus, definitely go check it out. It's definitely it's just a great store. I mean, when you have power just hanging up on the wall, cool cards. I mean, it was just overall, it was a good store. So here is another quick photo. If you're on the online, the live, Ben calling you out,
Which also, if you look at the very right, the whole reason I played this event, and it's cool that I got second. That right there, if you zoomed in close enough on that world, that is a small trophy of a golden chicken. And that's the only reason I played was for that little trophy, and I got second, and I did not get that trophy. So I have to.
That's Brendan.
Yeah, I have to. I have to come back, and I will be playing these until I get my golden chicken, and then once I get my golden chicken, I will never return. No, I'm just kidding. I'll probably.
But yeah, I mean, everybody, as you can see, super happy there. I didn't talk to anybody that didn't have a good time, winning or losing. I took a deck that I had never played before just because I wanted to have fun. And I did exactly that. So won a couple matches, which was cool. Playing initiative definitely felt good. So I will definitely be back to another Buffalo Chicken Dip just because it was a great experience and just a good community that just wanted to sling spells, and there was some people that drove in from West Virginia, Indianapolis, I mean, from all over just to play Legacy. So again, it was
and the WWF Super Smash was going on in Indianapolis. They could have gone to the Super Smash if they like WWF
to sling the spells.
Yeah, Super Smash. So
leading into the Buffalo Chicken Dip.
It was the Royal Rumble. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, not the Super Smash. Leading into Buffalo Chicken Dip. What were your thoughts, Ben? Like, what did you put in prep time, prep wise, as far as getting ready for the event?
This is going to sound bad. I didn't really prep for it that much.
And I'm leading you. Okay. So I'm leading the witness a little bit
because I did. I mean, I was jamming a lot of leagues. I've been jamming a lot of leagues just because I want to jam a lot of leagues, but I do that anyway. So but I didn't, I mean, Buffalo Chicken Dip, I treated just like any other event. I figured there's going to be a lot of players that are there to play. So, I mean, I didn't really do anything in particular to prep for it. Aside from when I was playing, I stopped playing like a jagaloon. I'd actually pay attention because, I mean, there's actual money on the line. There's actual prizes on the line. So, I didn't play it like I was playing a locals. The feel is like a locals in regards to the sense that everybody is there to have a good time and have fun. I mean, I was wearing blue corduroy Jankos and a Project Pat tie-dye stomping about. And we were having a couple of beverages from the trunk in between rounds. But at the same time, when it was time to play, even going into finals, when I was streaming or when I was on the live stream, while we were shuffling up and while the commentators were getting ready for the stream, we were bullshitting. But as soon as we started, Dylan is lifelong friend of mine, known him forever. He's genuinely my oldest friend that I talk to and best friend. But he goes, damn, the whole vibe just changed as soon as we started playing because we were fucking around, having a good time. And then as soon as we started playing, it's time to fucking handle business. So I didn't really do a whole lot of prep outside of what I already do, which is I play a lot of Magic.
So that's the point that I was making is how long have you played Storm? You just picked it up right before this event, right?
No, probably. Okay. So I haven't done the math on it. It's over 10 years.
Exactly.
I don't know the exact, but it's been over 10 years because I lived in Ohio for 8 and I've been playing it since I lived in Texas. So it's definitely been over 10 years.
So that's the point that I want to try to make is, and I talked to this point a little bit with some other folks while we were down there, is because there was somebody that was playing the exact same deck as you, and they were down with me in the losers bracket, right? Because they had just picked it up. And
also, it's a bad choice to play my deck.
Right. The fact that you have played Storm for so long, you've developed such a second brain with it, right? Like you see the lines, you don't even have to be able to read the cards,
Yeah.
And that's the point that I want to make is, when you're first getting started in Legacy, like sure, find what feels good, but where you're going to get rewarded is when you play what you know. And I think that you winning with Storm, which doesn't have great odds, right? I mean, in the current meta, because you're a great player and you've been playing Storm for so long, you were able to just demolish that room, right? And you were able to do really well.
Thank you. Yeah, and I went back and I watched the feature matches that I did, just to see because I like to know when I misplay, and I go back and rewatch when we played at Great Oaks because I like to know where I misplayed. Also, I know that chat is gonna fucking tear me apart if I misplay live on camera. So I was hoping that chat was live so I could see on a replay of it so I could see what they were saying. But there were a couple times where the commentators well, why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense. But I was setting up a 2 or 3 turn line. There was one time where I gambled for a Veil of Summer and I got the Veil of Summer, and then I went for a Beseech the Mirror, hoping to get a Force of Will out of their hand, and I didn't have to discard the gamble or the Veil of Summer. I mean, that I gambled for. But the thought process was, if I go for this right now, and it gets Force of Willed, and then I go for a Veil of Summer next turn, then effectively I've cast 2 Veil of Summers to weed out 2 Force of Wills and 2 blue spells. So it was resource management to try and suck things out of their hands to increase my odds of being able to go off with the most amount of resources possible, which is mana. So I was going Beseech the Mirror, try and suck a counter spell out, go to my next turn, hope to have action, go Veil of Summer, action, which I was banking on drawing an additional mana in that matchup too. That's why I kind of needed the shuffle off the gamble, because the top cards in my library were not good, if I remember from a bad brainstorm. But the commentators are I think it's kind of loose going for the Beseech here when he gambled for the Veil. You'd think the Veil was, but the Veil was intentionally get for the next turn so that I could potentially go Veil of Summer into big threat after already sucking out a counterspell from the first big threat. So there are some weird lines that most people won't do like that. But it does benefit you. Like sucking out 2 Force of Wills and 2 blue spells if your plan is an echo line is great, because if you're getting rid of blue spells for them to exile to, the odds of them having it are low. Also playing useless 0 drops, running out a Mox Opal so that you're not echoing and drawing it, or leaving a pedal in play, or floating the right mana, depending on what your outs are and what you're looking for, Or there was another time that I didn't crack the second Lion's Eye Diamond before I echoed, which was intentional, because obviously you want to have as much mana as possible floating when you pop that. But I didn't crack the second LED because in the scenario he had a counter spell, I wanted to have some kind of game plan if he countered the echo. So I'm if I pop this LED, I'm going all in on this resolving. Sure, my odds of winning are higher, but I don't necessarily need to win this turn. I'd rather just reset, increase my odds of winning this turn or next turn if I need to,
And 2, I mean, how much do you think that, playing leagues and stuff, helped you understand the meta more? I mean, knowing how to play into that blue spell, number of blue spells and all that, do you feel like that helped you, or is that just a...
It actually, so something that did help was just knowing when to go for it. Sometimes the odds aren't in your favor, but you just have to go for it, and you have to hope for the best. And there are some times that you're I don't have to go for it. I'm not dead for 6 turns. Why am I forcing a win right here? But yeah, it did help a lot knowing when to shove to try and get to suck something out of their hand, or gain advantage where you didn't previously. Maybe you're filling us both up where it's both advantageous for both of us, but I get to leave artifacts in play, so it's it did help a lot. Although I can't fucking get past a 4-1 on MTGO lately, and I don't know why. I haven't got a 5-0 league once, dude. I'm 4-1, 3-2, all positive, every single record. All 3-2s or better, but I can't fucking break that 5-0 on MTGO. Those pricks.
So I think that it's interesting listening to you talk about those decisions. I mean, obviously, I wasn't there, and I watched a good portion of it. The like w- while I was watching some of your matches, I could like see some of the cards that were in your hand from like the angle of the cameras. And watching you go through that like decision tree, specifically the double lion's eye diamond when you didn't crack that, and they made a comment. They're like, well, I think I would have cracked it there, and I just like kind of smirked in the back of my head, and I'm like, I was like, well, Ben has something in his mind that that this is not the most ideal outcome. And kind of like you said, right? When you're playing a deck that you've been playing for so long, you understand those decision trees, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna hold here. I'm just gonna go for it here. Like, I'm not dead for 10 turns. Like, I'm gonna sculpt my hand, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it's interesting watching somebody that, that has mastered a deck, like, I mean, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on like lands, and you know there's not many things that you could talk about with that deck that I wouldn't be like, yeah, no, I understand that, or no, I see that line, because you just like you jam it all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, he's got a reason for why he didn't do that, because like something as trivial as that, like if I picked up Storm, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm gonna double sack these Lion's Eyes. Well, maybe you were thinking about, and I think there was one play that I recall, and I want to say that it was your feature pre top eight, not the one against Stifle Knot. You went for a line, and I want to say, that it was like a peer into the abyss, maybe. But like you hadn't got to that point yet, and they were like, "Oh man, I would have went this route or something," but you went for the peer, to like play around
Consign.
consign, right?
I was afraid of the consign. So I'm like, if I
And
go
you
for the
had
peer
it.
into the abyss right now and I don't have like, if I go for a beseech and then I go for the tendrils when I'm dead. So I'm like, I have to go for the peer into the abyss, draw enough mana, dig for the hopefully a thought seize of some sort so I can clear the path.
Clear the way. Yep.
Yeah. Like last thing I want to do is get blown out, have all those resources of critical mass of spells, and then just they go consign. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll eat shit. Because I know he didn't have the counter spell because the burning wish resolved. So knowing that he doesn't have the counter spell, I'm safe to get the peer into the abyss because he left up 1 mana. So he was holding something. Like he's got something, whether it's a stifle, a consign, or some stupid like Angel's Grace or something cute. You know what I mean?
Or he's being really, really conservative. But that's
Yeah.
another good point too. Like, I think that, patience, because a lot of times, and that's like something that I've picked up myself, sure, you can just jam it, right? Like you can be like, oh, I got it. But like patience really pays off when you talk about high level magic. Like, even just like force of will, for instance. Like, somebody plays a spell and you're like, man, this is on the fence. Like, should I counter this? Should I not? And if you don't, and then they just go to jam something, you're like, well, I have the force. So like, patience really pays off.
Right. Well, and something that I need to practice more, I need more reps in regards to is like decks that play Force of Vigor. I haven't played against enough decks that play Force of Vigor in my career to respect Force of Vigor, which is insane because it's super popular right now, especially with Oops playing it in the side. You know what I mean? It's like, but there are a couple games that like I almost got blown out by a Force. There was actually one on stream where a Force like kind of I missequenced and a Force of Vigor ate a Lion's Eye Diamond, and I'm like, yeah, you got it. You fucking got me because which I just wasn't respecting Force of Vigor. It was not anywhere in my thought process at the time. It was a post side matchup and a matchup that I didn't think you would play Force. But
do you respect Wasteland?
Oh yeah, you have to respect Wasteland. Yeah, and after playing against lands enough times, I've started to respect Bajuka Bog too. Actually, there are a couple times where like you can tell a good lands player and a bad lands player because there are a couple times where like a lands player will bog me preemptively, and they're like, "Oh, it gets rid of one Lion's Eye Diamond." I go, "Fuck yeah!" I'm so glad they did that, because now I'm not drawing into that dog shit fetch land after this Echo. I'm not drawing into those 2 dog shit fetch lands. I'm not drawing into that fucking. I don't fucking want all those spells. I don't want a brainstorm. That's the last thing I want right now. I want 0-drop artifacts. I want fucking Beseech the Mirror, Burning Wish. Thanks for thinning.
Yep.
Sure, you got 1 Lion's Eye Diamond, but you also got rid of 7 bad cards. Thanks. Like, the odds are still in my favor because of that bad. But like, a good lands player won't do that. They just won't. Like, they're like, there's something better to use that. Like, yeah, sure, I'm echoing, so you might not have the crop rotation. So you're like, do I do it right now? The answer is fucking hard no. Like, you're helping me. Like, unless you think I'm getting a guy as well. But if you think I'm getting a guy as well, wait till I put the guy as well in the stack. Like,
Right.
you know, but he's like, I go for an Echo, and he goes, crop rot bog. I'm like, sure. Like, also, you just missed out on
chicken dip.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they bogged me, and this wasn't on the stream, but like, also, this was a post side match. They have Veil of Summer, so like, that really bad bog could have been a green mana for a Veil of Summer. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, you can tell a bad lands player, like, and it's not his fault. I mean, it's one of the hardest decks to play.
Yeah.
But like, also, yeah, he has no idea what no one knows. No one has prep for Storm. You guys have prep for Storm, but that's it. Like, no one plays against Storm. You know, which is cool.
Free win.
Yeah, but it's not free.
Someone in chat said, "Let's keep Ben's ego in check, please, for those of us who have to tolerate him on a weekly basis."
Yeah, you're welcome for my greatness. No, I'm just kidding. No, I actually am I'm not as super hype about it as everybody else. Like, everybody's like, "Dude, good job." I'm like, "Thanks, man." Like, but like, it hasn't like sunk in that it was like, it's a cool thing. Actually, I was more hyped that the chat loved me. Like, there was chat that was hyping me up, and then my final opponent, Brendan, right?
Yep.
It was my for the finals. Someone that is a friend of Brendan's was like, "Man, I want to root for Brendan, but that guy's mullet's fucking incredible." In the chat. So like the people, I was actually most hype about the people being hype about a big guy that is wearing a Project Pat tie-dye playing Storm in the top. Just like, I think they were hype on the personality more than they were the deck. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I like that.
That's awesome.
You know, that was exciting for me. But I mean, it was all exciting. I was there to play Magic, though. I fully expected to scrub out so we could go eat chicken wings and have beers at Roosters.
But it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Unfortunately, I got a Tundra instead.
Be you.
They're like, "Dude, if you can't have chicken wings and beers, we might as well give you a consolation of a little bit of, Tundra."
That's awesome.
No, it was very fun. It was a lot of good games. I do wish my finals match had gone a little better. I was up a game. Like, I got game 1 and then game 2 and game 3. Like, game 3 being brainstorm locked was rough. And then, like, I couldn't cast the Beseech. So, like, since he was on black, I buried it 2 down. Like, I don't know if you saw when I brainstormed, I buried it 2 down. I went Lion's Eye Diamond, Beseech, and I didn't want it to get thought seized. So I wanted the longest opportunity until I draw it and then get out of my brainstorm block and hope that there was something there. But I was just fucking dead anyway. Like, he had way too many counter spells and way too much power in play. So it is what it is.
That's the draw. So looking past Buffalo Chicken Dip, looking into the future, what are you guys like? What's the next thing that you're setting your sights on? Like, what are you preparing for?
The Better Place 2K.
Speaking of, we have a where'd it go? Window. There it is. So coming up at Better Plays in Stowe, Ohio, there is a Legacy 2K Star Cash event, and that
Boom,
is
baby.
on 3:30 at noon. Doors and registration open at 11 a.m. Entry is $45. Deck lists are obviously required. Playtests / proxies are in fact allowed. So if you are in first place, 650 store credit, 600 cash, not bad. Second, 450, $400 cash. Third and fourth get 200 in store credit. Fifth through eighth get 125 in store credit. So
Which is great.
Wanting to, I'll be preparing for that myself to participate, put it in the old calendar, and then a couple other events that are coming up. February 9th, so this Sunday at noon, we have our Ohio Eternal Presents Legacy at Great Oaks Tavern. We'll be starting at noon. We did just add that. I just posted it in the Discord link. So if you are following along live, I did post that in the Discord, so you can get information about that and add it to your calendar. Thanks again to Great Oaks Tavern for hosting us. We appreciate calling you guys home and kind of helping build the legacy scene in the, I guess, greater Akron area. And again, the food there is amazing.
Can't say enough good things about the food.
Yeah, the selection of alcohol is great. The ambiance, like it's a nice warm, warm feel, tavern feel. Again, everything is great there. I haven't had a bad meal, ever going there. So if you're in the area, definitely join us. I've heard quite a few people, and we're actually, I believe, firing a vintage cube after the event. So come for the legacy, stay for the cube, have good food, good beer, good drinks. We're hoping to, do some cubing right after. So thanks for Vlad for posting that in the Discord to bring everybody together, which is pretty cool. Another event that's, what's up?
I've got in honor of my birthday this Friday.
Oh yeah.
On Sunday, I'm bringing a couple of door prizes, and if you beat me in the field of battle, I will also have prizes for that. So
that's
hell
awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, free prizes.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wow. I'm gonna go 0-4, and I'm gonna give out all the prizes.
Dude, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't have enough reps against Lands to navigate it as well as I'd like.
Well, you said earlier I'm a bad Lands player, so I'm gonna...
No, I said you're a good Lands player. I said you can tell a good one from a bad one, and that I've seen a good one, and when I was playing against a bad one, I was very quickly reminded what a good one looked like.
Oh, I appreciate that.
So, and then this is the next event that I am preparing for, the Legacy Cup at MagicCon Chicago, coming up Friday, February 21st.
Oh, it's a Friday?
Yeah, 12:30 to 7:25, so in the afternoon. So I'll be preparing for that. I'm going to take initiative and just have fun. Like you're playing for fake money. It's for tickets, but it's literally the only Legacy event that is happening at MagicCon.
Are you going to be there because you're stunting for
nope, birthday weekend?
Oh.
Yep. So
you're not repping heavy play that week?
No, my homeboys that I graduated high school with, we're going out and just enjoying my birthday weekend. So we went last year. We went to Vegas as well. So it's just our guys weekend away type of thing. So I'll be preparing for that again. Going to be running some form of initiative. It was a super fun deck to play. I love turning stuff sideways. So I'll be preparing for the Legacy Cup. So let us know on socials. You can head over to our website, which is ohioeternal.com or eternal.rocks. And then right up here in the right-hand side, you'll see our socials and also our Discord. So we would love for you to join us there and give us your feedback. And if you're going to be at these events, please come, grab one of us and say hello. We'd love to meet you and get some feedback from you regarding the podcast and the stuff that we are doing. I've been doing my best to try to keep up with some of the editing and whatnot. We have a lot that's in the chamber to get posted, but we did
I
put
still have the GoPro with a lot
on our on the channel, we have some Jeskai control, some Nadu, as well as some Storm stuff that was put up. And then we also have the another podcast that'll be going up hopefully soon. I was hopeful during those snow days that I was going to get some more done, but alas, family and kids definitely pushed that one back a little bit.
I couldn't help but notice that you didn't watch the most recent video.
What?
If you go to that YouTube page, the most recent one you posted has not been viewed yet by you, which is crazy to me.
What do you mean?
You would see like a little green bar at the bottom because you viewed it. You did not view it. You posted it but didn't watch it. What are you, a lunatic?
Bro?
What are you talking about?
Right there. Legacy paper gameplay. Jeskai control versus mono red. See how there's not a little watch bar under the bottom?
This one?
Also, yeah. See,
Like
look at all these little watch bars. Look at all these little watch bars that you've got under all these. You didn't watch the most recent one? That's crazy to me, dude.
I need to catch up and watch them all with my other account too.
That's wild.
Because I edited it. Of course I watched it.
I'll say this. If you open up my YouTube channel and you look at my most recent watched, best believe those were watched all the way through. That's crazy that they aren't for you. That's wild.
Because I edited it and watched them all. I have to
I don't want to
through and find Ben-isms to remove.
I don't want to say there's a lack of dedication. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, every video ever was like double the words, but we just had to bleep Ben out like half of it.
Right. Which checks because like I say a lot of foul shit.
You do.
We love 100% of it.
Oh, man. So that is what is upcoming. Question I had, Tony, are you back on lands? Are you on breakfast? What are you going with?
I got this hot new lands list that I think I'm gonna give a whirl to. I think
you brought this up on the Discord, right?
I did post it on the Discord.
And so run us through this. I'm going to share it here with, I'll share the screen here. So, because you've been on Spherelands for a while, and I posed the question, what's the plan here? First of all, I love that you're playing Talon Gates. Love that card. And also love that you're playing Reclaimer. So take us through this.
Okay, so basically what it is a meld between turbo depths and traditional lands. I could say that you trim the fat essentially from like the turbo depths deck.
Well, I don't think you're allowed to say that because fat shaming is not fair.
Trim the unnecessary cards.
All right, fair.
So basically what this is trying to do is cheat out the Merit Lage consistently and quickly. But then also, it's got the Malevolent Rumble, which is a new card from MH3.
Card's good.
The interesting thing about Malevolent Rumble is it's honestly like the best card in the deck because it allows you to find exploration and put life from the loam in the graveyard.
That's pretty cool.
It allows you to, just dig for, and then like the Scion token too, like isn't instant, like it's good, right? Just mana ramping you for the next turn or even that turn. Like there's turns where I've had like Mox Diamond land, Malevolent Rumble with the Scion token, and then you're still able to play like Expedition Map, so I mean, just very explosive. The unique thing about this list that really kind of drew me to it, it's like if depths and turbo depths, like the traditional Naya depths and turbo depths and lands, you just take all the really good components from all of those decks and then ram them into this, and you say, I'm trying to make Merit Lage, because like the turbo depths deck and like Naya depths, they both kind of had that like lackability, I guess, of the super late game where lands just thrived in that environment with Life from the Loam and Urza Sagas, and exploration. You know, you can just bury people with that. And you know, like depths doesn't have like very explosive starts. So, you know, combining all of those components of it and saying, I'm a turbo depths deck, but I also have Urza Saga and Life from the Loam and exploration. You know, you're just kind of really taking all of the key components from all of those decks and with one focused game plan. Um, so pretty excited to give it a go in paper. Um, I still need to find Malevolent Rumbles. The thing is, like, I have, you know, everything in that deck except the Malevolent Rumbles.
And a couple things too. I mean, you traditionally suck at making green mana, even though you're a lands deck, and it's interesting that they're putting the Spirit Guide in there. And also, are you going to keep the boots in, or are you going to do?
Yeah, I
Shadowspear?
am. That is the main deck that I'm playing.
Okay.
Because
you've
with
been
the
against Lava Spur boots in the past.
I have because I really like Shadow Spear because again lands was really trying to like grind to the late game.
Right.
So some might even say you're new boot goofing.
I am new boot goofing.
Also running deep echoing deeps, which is new for a lands list.
Yeah, it's some of the technology out of depths, and what that kind of helps insulate against is like if you naturally draw the Sajiri Step or the Bajuka Bog, it's kind of awkward. So like being able to play that card, uh, you know, proactively, and then crop rot or reclaimer it away and get the deeps, or even like just wasteland yourself, you know, to get it in the graveyard so that like for the future you have echoing deeps. It's pretty good technology.
This is weird.
It's a answer to Magus of the Moon that also can be found off of Once Upon a Time.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I changed a couple of cards in the sideboard, but the twin shot snipers are still there.
So getting rid of swords. That's wild.
Yeah, Tony P is not playing the P's, bro.
Ooh, some pioneer tech. Look out.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Dampening Sphere.
Take it out. It's a bad card.
Take it out, it's bad. Yeah, I think that's just like a.
Is it just because afraid of Eldrazi more than anything, and it also hits Storm on the side?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Dampening Sphere is that great against Eldrazi though, because
It's
like,
really not. I mean, it's probably like it almost feels like you're targeting Storm while also getting some decent stuff because, like, I don't know, it's very mid.
Yeah, I'd be more interested in like that against Doomsday or obviously Storm or like anything like that.
Is there not? I mean, is there not enough upside against like Prison for any of the soul stuff?
Like your deck, like playing that against
any of the soul lands. I mean, I'm getting 1 instead of 2, and I'm taking 2 damage.
I mean, oh yeah, like I definitely wouldn't not bring it in. I guess it just depends because like I'm more
It's very
interested.
searchable and it's cheap, and you can cast it with colorless mana.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like it's lower on the tier of like if I'd bring it in. I guess the more that I look at it, like I want Force of Vigors against you. I want Twin Shot Snipers, Dismembers, and then some number of Disruptor Flutes. Yeah, I think that's kind of down on the tier list against Prison. I probably wouldn't even bring it in, to be honest, now that I think about it.
Yeah. You just have too many other things. I mean, you're running
because like I'm
Dismember
cutting
for
like
it.
Bog against you, Soul Guide Lantern.
Right. Force of Vigor. Yeah.
There's a Saga number. Yeah, I'm cutting some of those against you. So like there's definitely an argument. So the Elvish Spirit Guide's interesting. So this guy Sprouts, you know, been talking about this for a while, and he cut the Reclaimers and he cut the Spirit Guides, and I don't know if I like that. I think Reclaimer is just really good against Reanimator. He actually put in a second Soul Guide Lantern just against Reanimator, which Reclaimer is like one of the best things you can do turn one on the play, right? Granted, it can be fatal pushed, but to me, Reclaimer has so many more applications than just another Soul Guide Lantern. So I'm kind of higher on the Reclaimers and Spirit Guide too, right? Like with the Once Upon a Times, it's just like an incidental. I have one in my deck if I randomly do that for the Turbo Depths aspect of it, and being tapped out randomly, just having it and being able to hold a crop rotation up that my opponent doesn't know about.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to try it. I think it'll be cool, kind of something unique. But yeah, I think overall, moving forward, I'm probably back on lands. I did just order a couple more cards for breakfast though that I did not own.
What'd you get?
I needed a beta disenchant.
That drives.
So I got one of those, and then I got another Cavern of Souls. Yeah. Just some sideboard stuff.
Love that for you.
The disenchant's really good.
I was thinking about picking up some stuff for actually I think I was texting you guys in the chat talking about picking up stuff for breakfast, just because like I have Jeskai control and I like it, but like breakfast is just a good deck, and I'm one Tundra, one Trop, one Savannah away from having it. Everything else is pennies. So I was thinking about firing that stuff off, but who knows?
Yeah. And that's what Tony and I were talking yesterday, like about putting some of these decks together. Once you have a lot of the main stuff, it's easy to shift and jive and try new things. Just by reassembling some of the best cards that are in the pool for Legacy. Speaking of, I was looking at the Festival in a Box today for Chicago, and my alt deck is we're casting some blue spells, and this is the promo that's going to be coming with it. So I'm definitely going to pick one of these up when I get there. A foil future sighted ponder. So that's in the to get list when I go to
Chicago,
Chi-Town. There was some other cool stuff, but
the city of shoulders.
Nothing I really need or want, but I will definitely love to have that ponder. I
do it.
It'll definitely find its way into Demir Tempo. So I'm excited.
You're gonna find a Murktide while you're there too.
Hey, easy.
Do it. I think you should.
I want to.
Dude, it's what, 2,500 bones? Run it.
I'm getting power when I'm there. We're Daddy's coming home with a Mox Pearl.
He's turning on the electricity, boys. Getting power.
We're going with my goal is Mono White Initiative by Vintage Weekend.
That's
or EW
so well.
Weekend.
I might actually. So instead of getting duels this next bonus check, I might actually get a PC so I can start streaming some leagues.
I gave you one.
I know, but I don't have enough desk space to link the laptop to because I'd have to play off of the laptop and then I'd have to stream off of my laptop, and the desk is small, so like it would, it's not.
Let's
so
not
like
get a bigger desk for $200. Let's buy a gaming PC for $1,500.
First of all, what desk? I'm getting an uplift. I'm also getting a desk for this gaming PC. So I'm going to look at the new, not Uplift brand, but Secret Labs has their lift desk that looks really nice.
You're wild.
Secretly, Ben's using his next bonus check to buy a boat. That's what he said.
As if I didn't already have one. Come on, boys. What do you do in the summertime? That's crazy. Who needs two? Actually, I could use two.
Yeah, I mean, a pontoon's not really a boat, right? It's
Dude, pontoon is a party that floats. That's all it is.
Party that
That's
floats. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We should do legacy on a boat this summer.
That sounds crazy. Yeah, as long as it's
all proxies.
It has to be on a yacht. Yachts can manage it. A pontoon cannot. Pontoon's too wet.
We'll call it the proxy pontoon.
The proxy pontoon. I like that. I like that.
All right, guys. Well, we hit the 45-minute mark, so we're going to get ready to sign off. Anything for the good of the order?
I guess I have to keep playing Storm.
You do. And I on Saturday and I think Sunday as well. Proud of you for putting up results. You did a good job.
Very much.
You showed that you know your shit, and you continue to dominate with it both at locals and at bigger events. So
I still need that tiny chicken.
You and Tony had a good point. Winning is great, but watching your friends win is even better. And again, we're happy to see you win. A little round of applause. You did a good job. Thanks for not dishonoring the family, if you will.
I mean, it was only second.
It's a big deal.
If you're not first,
you're second. So.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby, that doesn't matter.
When I said on fire, Ricky Bobby.
There's second, third, hell, there's even fourth.
Oh, that's great.
So again, birthday wishes to Tony coming up this Friday. Again, thank you. We got a ton of people joining the Discord. So again, thank you for joining along. We're just over 52 people, I believe, in the Discord, which is pretty cool to watch that take off and grow.
Speaking of Eternal Weekend, last thing before we go, the coolest deck that I saw the entire weekend. And I have to say this because anybody that's looking for something cool to play, 100% play this. But really cool dude at Buffalo Chicken was playing a teamer list, and it's just like teamer mid-range good stuff. Are you pulling up the list right now? Oh, fuck yeah. Rug beans. Look at this. But the thing that immediately got me hard was he slammed a Hooting Mandrills in play when we were playing. And I think he thought because of the amount of hype that I had over it, I was like making fun of his deck, which is not the case at all. I was actually just that hype. I was like, fucking Hootie in 2025. Let's fucking go, boys. That's what I was like super hyped while we were playing. But very seriously, this is a very, very cool pile. And I am very hype about it. So like if you guys are looking for something cool and fun and spicy to play, dude, casting a Hooting Mandrills into a Up the Beanstalk to draw some cards is for sure boner fuel. That will shoot your shit off of your pelvis, I'm sure. Also, the magmatic sinkhole, turn up. Like, let's go. What's happening?
Oh, dude, off the pelvis got me, man. That's great.
He's gonna shoot it right the fuck off. It's gonna bounce around the room like a fucking yeah. It's gonna be crazy.
Chastity belt cannot hold it, dude. That's great.
Yeah, definitely cool list. There was a lot of cool stuff in that room, but that was hands down the coolest thing that happened to me all weekend. I was like, that's sick.
Well, awesome, guys. Until next time, excited to hang out with you guys again, and hopefully we'll see some of you this weekend at our event that we're having at Great Oaks Tavern at noon. A little bit of legacy and chill. So
come beat me, win prizes.
And if you're not there, you're a bitch. So.